I am attempting to have finances for myself right now, to live, to pay what I need for right now.
Right.
And I did not see beyond where I was financially at that time. And so when God brought this opportunity, it started once again to build my confidence and open my eyes to what He called me to do.
Right.
And the resource that He gave me in order to allow it to produce.
Welcome to Fashion Mix. I am Donna M., your host and owner of Donna M. Collection, our very own online women's boutique. Well, guys, I am back again with another episode. My guest today, I'm excited that she decided to join me today. But before we get there, I want to thank all of my listening audience. And if you are new here, welcome to the podcast. So go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and comment so that we can continue to bring you more content. We know that this podcast is not about fashion, but while you're here, you're going to get some fashion hack and tips, but it's about building your confidence to just give you a jump start on whatever journey that you're on. And I also want to thank my sponsors today. Spotify for Podcasters is the easiest way to create, monetize, and distribute your podcast, all from a laptop, iPad, or even your phone. So if you're ready to jumpstart your podcast journey, just click the link in the bio. So once again, today's guest is a wife, a mom of 3 boys. She's a children's leader, a connoisseur in the finance world, and more importantly, a believer. So without further ado, let us welcome Ms. Colbert to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you so much, Rashonda, for being here. I'm excited that you just took the time to want to just sit and conversate, because that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be a conversation with 2 church sisters, because I forgot to share that piece of information. Yes, we are, I have to say, this is not a shameless plug, but anyway, we are members of New Life Christian Fellowship, so if you're ever in the area.
Yes, we are.
If you're looking for a church home.
That's right.
Anyway, and then not to forget, Rashonda is a vet, a military vet.
Yes, I'm in the military, yes.
Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you for your support.
So, how long have you been in the service?
12 years.
Okay.
Going on 13
Okay,
years.
and what branch?
In the Army.
In the Army, okay. Oh, you picked the hardest branch to go to.
I know. I didn't really have people to
Tell you any
guide
better?
me,
Yeah.
tell me any better, right? I found out after I got
Right,
it, but I still say we're the best.
Right. No, that is awesome. 12 years in the military. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, was that a goal to go in the military?
It was not a goal. My reason for going in the military initially, it was to pay back student loans.
Oh, okay, that's a good reason.
That's a great reason. The more I learned and grew, especially you mentioned finances, I learned that maybe that wasn't the best way I could have gone about it, because that responsibility of being in the military, it's you have a lot of responsibility, and the weight that is on the line, I don't feel as if, now, hindsight, that I should have made that decision just for money. But I thank God that He's connected purpose and passion inside of, the mission that I've taken on.
Right.
Now I'm a chaplain candidate within the Army.
Right.
And I get to, minister to soldiers and my,
That's awesome.
my battle buddies. So God really turned it around for the reason I went in.
Right. I was about to say that. You had one reason, but God had another plan, had another purpose. So that's great. Those are the stories we want to hear. Yes. those are the stories that we definitely want to hear. Like I said, the podcast is not just about fashion; it's about building confidence. And can you, like, as a mom, you're a mom. Like I said, you're a mom. You're a children's leader in the church as well. You're you and your husband, as a matter of fact, but your husband is in leadership at the church. Right. So, let me ask you this. How has being in the military, I guess, shaped your confidence?
Well, I always, when someone asked me that question, military and confidence, when I joined the military, I was already 30. And normally, individuals join the military at a very young age, a very impressionable age. Not as if you can't be impressionable at 30, but I had already gone through a lot of things before saying yes to the military. So when I did join the military, I felt as if I had built a lot of confidence. I was still working through some things, but when it came to the military, they love to fine tune and kind of mold you into the person that they want you to be in order to be a soldier, which is understandable, because you are, you have a mentality to stand and fight for your country. And so the military brought some confidence as far as the things that I overcame physically, mentally. I was able to build confidence in different areas because the military pushes you, stretches you in different areas of your life, and where you think you're not going to be able to do something, climb a wall, jump off something, it built in that aspect of my confidence even more.
More. So now you said you joined at 30. I would never. You look good. I mean, I didn't think that you were.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. But that reminded me, I wanted to go into the military, but you know what? I was way older than 30, and I wanted to. So listen.
Right. Well, you're supposed to be dressing us the right way, getting our minds right.
Listen, they weren't having it because I was already too old. I think it was an age. Is there still an age cutoff there?
There is, I believe, for certain MOS. It means the area that you're going in professionally.
Gotcha.
So it all depends. It all depends.
Because I think I reached out to, was it the Air Force? This was years ago. I was over 30. And I was like, I think you reached the age. And I don't want to say, I'm not trying to put the Air Force down anything. I say women over a certain age can't join the military. But I think at that time when I did make a decision, because I was contemplating it, and I think when I made that decision, you know what it was? I had kids. I had my first daughter. And I think you had to have someone to keep them or something. It was so long ago, I don't even remember. Yeah. But I think I was still too old to go in at the time. Anyway, I don't know what I was thinking, but I did have a dream to go into the Air Force.
You did?
I did.
See, that's a good, I didn't know that.
I did. I actually did. So, as a children's leader, how do you inspire confidence in the little ones?
So, I work with the little ones, and I also work with the teens. That is what my passion, working with the teens, and how I just extend that confidence to them, let them know to walk in their confidence, not in their own self-confidence. Because what I learned as a believer in growing in Christ is that there's no such thing as self-confidence. I don't want to rely on myself. And so I just remind them the confidence of who's inside of you. God is inside of you. He's created you. Everything that He's created is really good. It's great. It's amazing. There's no flaws. And so I remind them of that so that they can always remember that it's not within me that I find my confidence. I can build my confidence, whatever sport you're playing, whatever career decision you make, your confidence is built on Christ. And I remind them of that, and also let them know that they have this supernatural power as, being young, a youth, that even now in class, people are watching in your school, even at home, because sometimes we have teens that may not have parents or guardians that believe or go to church. They send their child to church. So I am adamant about them knowing who they are and getting to know who they are now, because as you grow, you get 30, you get 40, you get 50. Look, if you haven't built your confidence and your confidence in Christ now, you're going to be working on it later. So you choose which end of the spectrum you want to learn and you want to build your confidence. And it's always good to have your confidence built, because if you do not believe in yourself and your abilities, your talents, your gifts, you don't believe in who God has created you to be, someone can always come along and redirect the path that is already set for you.
That is true. That is true. And I'm glad you mentioned self-confidence. And you actually, I was thinking along the same lines as, there is no such thing as self-confidence. And I had to learn that.
Yeah.
Because of the church that we are in, that's how I learned there's no such thing as self-confidence, because you don't want to rely on yourself.
Yeah.
So that is good. And in a sense, by itself, there's no such thing as self-confidence, but the confidence in God, the confidence through God in Christ and His Word.
Yes.
So I love that, because as a matter of fact, I was thinking about that either this morning or maybe yesterday morning. I don't know where it came from, but the term self-confidence came back. And I was like, wow, that's good. Because I think Lady Lisa was the one that mentioned there's no such thing as self-confidence.
Yes.
Because self-confidence, you're literally relying on you.
Right. And in the
Bible
word,
says,
there's no self-confidence.
Yeah.
There's not granted in the world, a lot of individuals just rely on self.
Right.
My confidence, what I'm able to do, but the abilities that I feel that God has given us, if you are aware of your gifts and your talents and you're willing to be a representation of Christ in this world, look, whatever platform that you are on, whether you're in fashion, whether you're in finances, whether you're a leader in the church, you're the military, you're able to exude that, and through that others are able to see before you even open your mouth.
Right. Yeah. Right. So you work with the teens, but when it comes to adults,
yes,
especially women,
yes.
What advice would you give women, adults, as it relates to their confidence? What would be the one thing that you would want them to, I guess, know, to share, or to carry, the breastplate of their heart?
Yes. What I encourage women all the time, adults even, it's about our mindset and renewing our minds, because we all were born maybe in different environments, within different families.
Right.
We've experienced different things. Some of us have experienced trauma. Some of us have experienced, really harsh relationships, and we've put down confidence, right? And so in order to regain and rebuild, or just establish, if you haven't found any confidence, is to start changing your mindset. And again,
that's good.
My direction is always going to be the Word of God. Like that is the standard for me, right? And that's the highest standard. And I feel like that's the greatest gift that I can ever extend to anybody.
Right.
So confidence, if you have no confidence, if you have little confidence, if you had confidence before and you don't have it now, the Word of God being your measure, but now renewing your mind and a self-reflection. How did I get here? Say I had confidence, but now it's lower. I lost it. What happened? It's always good to do an introspection. What happened? Why did you lose your confidence? Why don't you have confidence? And then look that thing face to face and attack it. Answer those questions. They may be hard, but then I believe that's a great starting point to regain, build confidence, because I believe once we are able to get to a root of something, of anything, then we can grow from there.
That's true.
You can remove all that gunk, all that mess. Even if you grew up in a household that told you were nothing, and there wasn't confidence that was built in you, or someone telling you were beautiful, you can do anything you want to do. From there, I say, go to the root of it. Start changing your mindset, because your mindset then turns into a belief, and then your belief turns into your actions.
That's good.
So
that's true.
It starts with the mind, how you feel about yourself, not how others may have told you they feel about you, the things they placed on you that were not true. It starts with your mindset.
That's good. That's good. Now, have you ever kind of been challenged with that? Like I said, in the military, like you say, it shaped you. It shaped your confidence. But was there ever a time where you kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I grew up in a house full of boys. So I have 4 older brothers. Only girl and the youngest. And so I grew up like a tomboy. So everything my brothers did, I wanted to do. I wanted to, look like a boy. I wanted to wear baggy clothes. And then the more I grew up in womanhood, it was a little quirky, to feel like, wait a minute, I want to still look like this, dress like this, but I want to build confidence to become a lady, wear certain things, or be around certain individuals. And so it was difficult for me to find my, which way to go, because when you have friends, you go off to college. When I went to college, I'm like, okay, majority of girls are not dressed like me.
Right.
They don't look like me. I got braids in my hair. When growing up in college, I loved braids. I loved baggy clothes. I loved, tennis shoes.
Right.
And now I go off to college and I see other girls and it's like, okay, all right, we got midriffs on. We got, we got tighter jeans on. And, just finding who God has made me to be, what I'm comfortable in. Right. So that balance or that realization, again, it was the mindset.
Right, exactly.
Without even knowing it was the mindset, it was just the mindset. But building my confidence was seeing other women like yourself, even at this age and at a younger age, it was seeing other women just walking their truth, being comfortable in their skin. And that's what I always wanted to be. I just wanted to be comfortable. Like, I don't want to be like you. I don't want to be like you. I just want to be me and I want to be comfortable in me. It's hard enough being me.
You're right about that.
I'm trying to take on you.
Right. That's so true.
Just being comfortable with me, being comfortable with how I look, how I sound, my hair, all those things. All those things just walking through as a young woman.
Right.
And just being settled with it.
Right.
Like, this is me and I love me.
Right. And that's always what's important. Just loving you, loving who you are, who God made you to be. So you got through that challenge when you got to college. And so I guess that's when you started transitioning to more feminine look or whatever, girly looks. Now, being in the military, how was that transition to go from uniform to?
I actually, speaking about uniform, I really enjoy wearing a uniform, right? Even though I am a reservist, so I'm in the military part-time. So I enjoy wearing uniforms. Even in high school, when I went to high school, we wore uniforms. Right? So I did not have to think about what outfit. I even come to you now, Donna. Let's talk about fashion, right? You are the fashionista. I look at you as, every time I see you, you have the most amazing outfits on, put together. And every time I come to you, I'm like, okay, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. I need you to dress me. Right? So I love looking good, love nice clothes, but I'm not a shopper. I don't like to go into store. I don't enjoy going into stores. I don't enjoy window shopping. I don't enjoy going in the mall. I will go when I see something on you or something on another individual. Like, girl, you look good. Where did you get that from? And I do that to you all the time.
You do.
So I prefer a uniform look. But again, we have places to go and people to see. Okay? So I love, you are my point of contact, honestly. Okay? Shameless plug, whatever you want to call it. But you are my go-to and you know it. Every time I see you with something on, I'm like, okay, tell me the size and let me know where to order it. You will send me the link. But I am not a shopper. I know that I want to look nice, be comfortable. My husband is the dress guru, actually. Sometimes I'll ask him, hey, honey, what'll go with this? Just to spice it up. Because I'll put a nice pair of jeans, some shoes, a shirt. He'll be like, okay, put this blazer on, put this jacket on, put this. And I'm like, okay, I love it. So I love the uniform look. Okay, it's easy. It's easy. You're wearing the same thing, different uniforms, but the same uniform. And all I have to do is have that crease, nice iron. So I enjoy the uniform, but just as much as I enjoy the uniform, I love wearing, different outfits with fashion. Just to look, look the part wherever I'm going.
So you're still working on the transition because you.
Well, now I know my truth 100%. I know that I am not an individual that that shops a lot or I look at others. I have no shame with saying that. I look at other women and I'm like, that is so beautiful what you have on. Where did you get that from? Whether it's your boutique, sometimes you give me outside references, and I enjoy that. And then I'll spice it up at home. But my husband, he gets ready like a week before.
You said that.
Yes, that is true. You can ask him. He gets ready like a week before. He takes time into his outfits, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I am an individual that gets ready maybe that day, you know, and I go in the closet and I look around and I'm like, all right, what are we going to wear today? Like, what color do I feel like wearing? But he makes it a whole math problem. And I love it because when he comes out, I'm like, okay, you are fly.
I can see why it took so long, right?
You are fly. So again, I definitely enjoy being fashionable, but I don't put as much time in it as, and I'm comfortable with that.
No.
I know that now. I know that about me, that I just have to go somewhere, ask someone. My goal one day is to have someone bring in my outfits for a season. Bring it in,
you're gonna
take it out,
clean it right now in Jesus' name.
So that's not one of the highest things on my, you know, as far as how I look, I want to look really nice. So if I can have somebody take care of that portion of my life for me, I would love it.
No, I mean, I get it because that's how I feel about my hair. That's how I feel about my makeup. Hey, I do a little something during the weekdays, but when I have to do something important, I'm going to hire a professional.
I said, I'm going to stay in my lane. So your lane, I know your lane is fashion. I know your lane is bringing things together that makes a woman look beautiful. I can be comfortable. And then I rely on you because that's your lane. I'm like, okay, what do I do about this? What do I pair with this? So, but I do love, you know, when you dress nice, one young lady said, you dress the way you want to be addressed, and that is so true. So I am comfortable in my look. I love the clothes that I put on. I'm comfortable in it, and I feel confident because clothes will make, you know,
feel confident.
Clothes will allow you to be confident. My mom always used to tell me and my brothers, it doesn't matter how much, you know, money you have, which it didn't feel. You know, we grew up humble beginnings, you know, not a rich family. But I didn't feel as if I was poor. I didn't look as if I was poor. I didn't look as if I was on the projects. We looked amazing. You know, our clothes were clean. Our clothes were beautiful. I had on dresses. I had on socks that had the little frills on it.
I remember the
frills. My brothers, their clothes were ironed. They, you know, so again, it is a reflection. It will reflect how you feel. You know, you can be confident. You can go in a room and know that, you know, I'm here and I'm ready. Not only mentally, but physically on the inside and out. And I'm ready.
No, that's good. That's good. I want to go back to something that you said. You raised up with all brothers. And you have all boys. Isn't that
I said, God, you got a sense of humor here. Okay. I grew up in the house with boys. I'm back in the house with boys again. My husband and my 3 boys. Yes, I found that to be really hysterical. And I'm like, God, you have a sense of humor. But God knew exactly what I needed. I thought one of the twins were going to be, I thought it was going to be a boy and a girl. Okay, he said no. 2 more boys. So growing up in the house with boys, I've always loved it. I loved growing up in the house with boys. My brothers, they were easygoing, laid back, fun. I didn't get to experience living with females, you know, more than one female other than my mother when I went to college. And that was very eye-opening. You know, the different personalities. And, you know, so that opened up a whole new world for me when I lived in college in the dorm room, living with other females. But yes, I grew up with my brothers, and now I am in the house with even our English, our bulldog is a boy. So all boys.
So how did you manage that one?
It's a long story. It is a long story. It took me a while to say yes to the puppy, but he is a great addition to the family.
Okay, awesome.
But he is a boy.
Okay.
So
go figure.
Yes.
So now with boys, would you say it's harder to build that confidence when it comes to the boys? And then how do you build confidence in your boys?
I affirm and reaffirm them. I encourage them. I ask them, and my husband does as well. You know, but as their mother, I want them to you know, be able to see a woman that builds them up, you know, in front of them. I build my husband up. I tell my husband he's handsome, he's fine. Like, man, look at you, look at your clothes, you know. And I do the same thing with them. When I wake them up in the morning, I'll say, hey, my handsome boys, get up this morning. Good morning. Y'all are so handsome. they may not even have the haircut at the time, but I'll just be like, y'all are just so handsome. How do you see yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Do you think you're handsome? And so I affirm and reaffirm them. And when they hear certain things in school, I always ask them, well, how do you see yourself? Is that how you feel about yourself? So again, affirming and reaffirming them is always important to me as a mother for my sons.
No, that's good. With society that we live in, it's just so much. I don't want to say so much going against them per se specifically, but as men, I think they get a bad rap, just as being black men. And so I think it's so important, with what you're doing with your boys to build confidence and to let them know that, they are handsome. They do matter. Yeah, they are important. Yeah.
They have the identity of Christ. We have them say just a confession every morning, and there's different things that go into their confession, but it ends with, I have the mind of Christ. I have the mind of Christ. So at the end of the day, what we're pouring into our children, my husband and myself, they get their identity from my husband, their father, and I reaffirm that identity that he is showing them and he's telling them. And I can see it even now. The twins are 7 and my oldest is 11. And I see that now that they walk in the confidence of Christ. And that no one would be able to come. And they do come because they're in elementary school. So elementary school kids, middle school kids, high school kids, they can be harsh.
That's true.
And I went through the same thing. Right? So even with because they're all learning their identity. And they may not per se mean what they're saying to one another, but I always teach my sons, God has created you to be so great. Just reaffirming what the word says about them, letting them know at this age, and asking them, always being mindful to ask them, because we can tell them, but it's how they see themselves and what they've learned from what we're teaching them.
That is so true. So mother, wife, leader in the church, and you tapped into, I would say, building wealth. Is that, I would say, maybe not finances, but you tapped into this area of teaching others how to build wealth. Yes. So tell me about that. How did you go? You're still a reservist, of course. But what sparked that direction?
So at the beginning of the pandemic, I had just completed a mobilization for the military. So mobilization is just on stateside, and I was working full time in the military. After my mobilization ended, that's when COVID started. So now I'm in the house with all the children doing homeschooling and everything. And the world was shut down anyway. So it's not as if I was going to transition from full-time military to now full-time civilian life. I was full-time at home. So Battle Buddy, which is a friend out of the military, she invited me to be introduced to a group of individuals who were working in the financial market and trading and Forex. And so I did not know anything about it. I've never heard of it, never traded, never invested, cryptocurrency, none of it, But I was willing because I'm an individual that takes risks, and I'm just that individual. I love to take risks. I love to learn. I love to learn new things. And the beginning of the pandemic, I started learning how to trade in the Forex market. I started to learn by just listening to others, copying others, and that developed an entire love for it. I absolutely love it. And so that's how I started. In the beginning of the pandemic, staying home with the kids, Battle Buddy told me about trading and Forex and cryptocurrency, and I just took the time to start learning, and till this day I'm still learning. I'm building a team of people, and I travel with my team as well.
Good. So how has that opportunity just built your confidence?
That has built my confidence regarding wealth and building wealth.
That's good.
I can't even describe it because as I mentioned before, I grew up humble beginnings, projects, poor, not knowing I was poor until I got older and realized what money was all about. But when I got into this arena and into this space, this financial space, I recognized that I had a poverty mentality. I was headed towards poverty, even with, my husband and myself and with our children, and teaching them the same things that I learned growing up. I had a poverty mindset. The things that I was doing with my money, it all led to poverty.
Right.
And I didn't know, but that's what I saw. That's what I learned. And so when I say it built my confidence, it changed. It totally changed the way that I look at money.
Right.
It changed the way that I believe the word of God. Because in the word of God, when it says, I'll have so much, my barn house, I feel like my banks, because I don't have a farm, right? So my bank account will overflow. I'll have so much that I could give to others. It won't have to worry about this is going to run out.
Right.
I think differently now about money, and it allowed me to build my confidence in what God told me about my birthright and what is available to me financially and what I'm able to do for my family and what I'm able to do for others. Right. So in that area, I believe, and I didn't know that my money confidence was really on a low. Right, it was very low. I can attest. And this allowed me to grow. Really, it allows me to grow. So every Wednesday, I speak about mindset within my community. Within my trading community, every Wednesday I'm talking about mindset. But just to bring it back, confidence in this arena, my confidence is off the roof now as far as what is available to me, what I'm able to access. Right. I don't have to feel as if I only have to do a 9 to 5. Right. I only have to do multiple 9 to 5s. Right. I can invest. I can build wealth. I can have a savings. I can have a reserve. I can have 10 million cash, liquid cash on me. And it was a thought. It was, maybe I can do that. Right. I want to do that. Right. I want to be able to pay somebody's scholarship for college. Right. I want to do that. I have a heart to do that. But where the money coming from? Right. That's good. Am I going to have to work, 3 and 4 jobs because I want to do that financially? That's good. But then it had me think, how am I going to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor if I'm working 5 jobs? That is so true. Yep. So it built my confidence immensely. That is so true.
And you mentioned working, not having to work multiple jobs. And, not to knock anybody who does. Right. But I think there was a point in my life where I contemplated getting a second job. Yeah. Because of financial reasons. But when I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea because I don't see how it's going to benefit me. Because if I'm always working, I'm not going to be any good to family. I'm not going to be any good to my kids, I can miss functions, but it's like we don't think about, there's just so much to think about. Having to take on, maybe a second job or something like that because of financial reasons. But I like how you described or talked about it's a mindset and it built your confidence as far as what you can have. You can have a savings. Yes. You can, have cryptocurrency. You can, and these are all the things that's going to allow you the ability to help somebody to pay that scholarship as you talked about. Yeah. And so I think that's, so very important. I've learned a lot. I'm at a point where, I can do different things myself, but it's not for me. So I think it's important to tap into an area that you love where you can teach others, but not just in teaching them, it allows you the opportunity to do what God has called you to do because finances is all His, and He didn't give it to us, or grant it to us, or grant these opportunities to us, just so we can keep all of it to ourselves.
I believe it. I believe it. Years and years ago, I was in college. I heard the Holy Spirit just tell me that I'm a, kingdom financier, and I was just like, I know that deals with finances, and I know I ain't got any. So I don't know where you calling me to, because I ain't got any. You know what I'm saying? Like, this sounds like it's on a bigger scale, and I'm not on that scale. And I don't see I didn't see myself. Yeah, that confidence. I didn't see myself there because I'm just like, I am attempting to have finances for myself right now, to live, to pay what I need for right now.
Right.
And I did not see beyond where I was financially at that time. And so when God brought this opportunity, it started once again to build my confidence and open my eyes to what he called me to do.
Right.
And the resource that he gave me in order to allow it to produce. So again, the passion and the love that I have for, what he's called me to do and the resources that he's given me in order to get there, I am still amazed.
Right. No. He, like you said, he has a sense of humor.
He does. He really does. He really does. Like, you are. Like, I'm what?
Well, I know, right? It's like,
what do you want me to do?
Those are the things that we tell ourselves. Yeah. It goes back to confidence. It goes back to and the other thing is not just even confidence; it's about our faith walk. Yeah, that we don't even have the faith. If God said he can do it, it's like He gonna do it. Yes. But it's where we are, mindset. We
second guess it, and we always, before we say, "Oh yes, that's me, I can do it." We always maybe think of a negative or why me, or are you talking to me, or is that for me? Right, and it is.
Because I guess we don't see. We always want to be involved in the process. We always want to be the one to do it. So if we don't see us being able to do it, we don't think that it's going to happen.
Correct.
And so I think it's It's as I'm sitting here, it's like the mindset and confidence and faith, all this stuff.
Yes.
It just goes together.
It's a process. Like you said, it's a process.
It's a process. So we're going to switch gears a bit here.
Okay.
Can you share a memorable fashion moment or style from when you were doing your military days that still influenced your wardrobe today?
Let's see. From uniform to civilian dress. So I remember when I was in training and we went away for a while, and during the transition of us being in a training environment, we always had on our uniform. But this particular weekend, we had the ability to change clothes and wear our civilian clothes and go out. So now that made me feel another type of way, because now I'm always in uniform. And, everyone looks the same to me in uniform. Of course, your hair may be different. You may have on, different lip gloss. Now we get to wear earrings in the Army, right? So we are fashionable, okay? So this particular evening, we went out, and I just had this power struggle within myself as far as, well, how am I going to look when I go out, because people are so used to seeing you in a uniform. You have a rank on your chest. Like, now none of that is involved, right? And so, again, I just resulted back in my mindset, like, be yourself. You don't have to look at anybody else. Consider what they're wearing. Wear what you want to wear. And so that particular evening, this was the whole thought process going through my head the whole time when I was, arranging my clothes in my bag. What am I going to wear tonight? I want to be able to look, presentable to my, peers and also those that I lead as a sergeant. So I had this whole conversation, and I ended with, you know what? Be yourself. Be yourself. Wear what you want to wear out that bag. Put it together. But I feel as if the transition from the uniform and putting on civilian clothes, it just made me think and put more effort into, it's not just same pants, same shirt that you're ironing crease. Again, the way you represent, the way I represent myself is by what I put on. And so that particular evening, it still, of course, got compliments. Of course, everyone's going to say, man, you look different, even though we see each other all the time. You look different. Oh, wow, your hair, because of course now you're in civilians. Now you can let your hair down. You can put on some makeup. You can put on bigger hoop earrings. And your clothes, it flows. I feel like your accessories and your clothes, they go together, right? So, and now I have this thing about glasses. So I've always worn glasses from a very young age. I've always worn glasses. And I remember having one pair of glasses. You know, my godfather would take me to go get my one pair of glasses. You know, one time that you could put your initials on your glasses,
right.
You know, back in the day. And so now that they have so many opportunities for us to get our prescription lenses with so many different styles, now I feel like my glasses are a part of my uniform, you know, a part of my outfit, right? And my uniform. But that's how I didn't dress like that then, because I didn't have the glasses style. I had one lens.
Right.
But that particular day just taught me again to be myself, what's comfortable, what's presentable, because I'm always going to go looking good, no matter how you feel. That's how my mom, now that I know her story, I can always remember she looked good. She was always dressed nice. She was always clean. Maybe there was a time in her life where she was depressed or overwhelmed, but I did not see that by the way she looked. By the way she looked, my mom had it, you know, her appearance was always nice. It was always modest. It was always clean. It wasn't, you know, she was never, you know, her clothes all wrinkled or I'm just running here. My mom always looked good. And my mom was a plus size woman. You know, my mom was a plus size woman. I've never been a plus size woman, but my mom was a plus size woman, and she wore her clothes, and she, to me, it seemed as if my mom was comfortable in her skin.
Right. That's good. No, that's good. Yeah, like I was sharing on one of my other episodes, plus size guests, and but what I saw in her is like, this is me. I'm comfortable with me, so you better get comfortable with me.
And if not, get out my space.
Exactly. And you mentioned you love glasses. You like so.
So now that's my new.
That's your new. Yeah. Okay. No, and you're right. They have, I mean, so many options. You can get your prescription put in shades. I mean, they got all these different websites that you can get. You know, the least expensive frames and different things like that. But you're right. It's the total package. Total package.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you this: are those your glasses? Are that's just you styling and profiling?
Oh no, I need my prescription. Every glasses that I put on, they have prescription. Yes.
Okay.
They may look different frames, but they all have my prescription in them. And so remember, I told you I'm not a big shopper. So the website, that for me is really convenient. So when I go on there or I see a pair of glasses like your glasses is amazing, I'm like, hey Donna, where did you get your glasses from? You're like, this is where I got it from. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna go to that site and order it. So instead of me having to go to a you know, prescription, you know, Walmart or whatever eyeglass place there is, I haven't gone to one in so long. Because again, I have my prescription and it's plugged in online and I tap on the glasses that I want and I'm just like, oh, I need, you know, all colors. You know, like in your closet, you should have all colors. I like all colors. Blue is my favorite color, but I have all colors. I have a red pair, a blue pair, a red, a burgundy pair, like a crystal, a clear pair, a pair with little diamond studs in them. So I feel as if now that is integrated into my wardrobe.
No, that's good. No, that's good because that's considered an accessory.
Yes.
That is good.
But yes, they are prescription.
Okay.
I cannot go without my prescription. Let's talk about that. No, I cannot go without my prescription.
Okay. Yeah, I tried. I attempted. Because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to pay all this money for these glasses, blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, I talked to people and they gave me like different websites I could go to. And I found some nice pair. But when it was time for me to get the glasses, I got chicken because I was like, oh, I don't know. When I get the glasses, I don't know. It did not fit my face. Just all these different things that kept coming to mind. But now you have convinced me that you can get your glasses. Yeah.
And you may have that fear of, it may not look right on me. And so that is what also my confidence has built in a way that, you know what? I'm going to try different things. They may not look like how it would look on someone else. They may look a little quirky, but guess what? I like it.
Right.
And I'm going to try something new.
Right.
Because once you commit, but the thing about when I commit to the different glasses, the price is not the same price in the store. So when you go into a store, they maybe work on your prescription, they do your exam, and the amount that I'm spending in that store, in that place, I could really get about 3-4 pairs from the online. And again, it may be hit or miss. Maybe something's too big for my nose and it's like all the way down, or it's crowding my whole face. Lesson learned. I know not to look for that particular style anymore. But it's still different.
And it's been working.
I really enjoy it. I enjoy it better than picking out my own clothes.
Wow.
I do.
Wow, that's interesting.
I'll leave the outfits to you and I'll go get the glasses.
So y'all just add the glasses too. That was always my concern. But you know what I'm finding out is even with me purchasing my glasses here locally, I still have to go in and get them to adjust it because it loosens up. And so it's like, okay, now I know that that's not even a big issue anymore. But I'm gonna have to wear these glasses for the next 10 years because what I paid for is like it's gonna have to last me for 10 years.
Okay, it is fine.
Thank you so much. I was going to ask you what your favorite color was, but you told me it was blue. I was not thinking blue.
You were?
I don't know why I was not thinking blue. Now, why is blue your favorite color?
I believe it's, once again, grew up around the boys, I believe pink seems to be like the girly color.
Yeah, that's true.
And my mom, even though she, dressed me in the dresses and the frilly socks, in my mind, I was just like, I can't wait to get out this thing. I want to be able to put this on and look like my brothers. Yeah. So blue, I've always stayed with it, even at an older age. And one time I said to myself, I'm like, okay, why did you choose this color being your favorite color? Was it because this is truly your favorite color? But it is. I like all different shades of blue.
Okay. Yeah, there's some good shades of blue. Speaking of blue,
I love your hair. That's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, I love your hair.
Thank you.
Yes, it looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, okay, I waited until I got in my 50s to take it up a notch. I'm like, you go, girl. Yeah, I will be 54.
Donna, you look amazing.
Thank you. In July.
Let's talk about that. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. I tried. All I can say is the grace of God because, I couldn't do it by myself. But I'll be 54 in July. Wow. So is there anything next for you?
Oh, let's see. Well, currently I am, in January, I just recently started with a nonprofit called Metanoia in North Charleston, in the North Charleston, Shakora area, and they've been serving the community for over 20 years. And so recently, I was brought on as the director of operations for our youth department, our youth leadership department. So I am looking to be an asset to them and investing in the youth in that area. I'm excited about it. This summer, I'm going to be the coordinator of a school called Freedom School.
Did I see something? I was in the mall yesterday, Citadel Mall. And there was 2 good ladies in there. And I think they were registering people. I don't know if it was Freedom School. It was for a school. It was for a school. Okay, tell us a little bit more about that. Yeah.
So Freedom School is, all right, I'm going to take everybody back on a journey. And maybe you don't remember it. And a couple months ago, I did not remember it. So, hey, something we all can learn. So during the time of segregation, when they wanted to integrate schools and put everybody together like a happy family, unfortunately, they did not want the African American children to go to school with Caucasian children. So what they did, they put out what's called a lottery at that time, and they shut down school for some states they shut down school altogether to say what we're doing is we're working on integrating the schools, bringing all of our children together. It doesn't matter your color.
Right.
And you have to have this lottery ticket in order to go to school in this area.
Okay.
But what happened, they gave the lottery tickets to the white children.
Wow.
And while the black children were home waiting for school to start, they did not know the agenda that was behind the lottery ticket.
Right.
So the lottery tickets, of course, the white children, they were able to get tickets to go to school. So they were going to school.
Right.
The black children, they did not get a ticket. So their parents, everyone was home waiting to go back to school. During this time, the students, they weren't educated. They probably could have been reading in their homes. But again, a lot of homes, they were sharecroppers. They worked really hard. And so during the summer, educators got together and they called what is now Freedom School, and back then. So the educators got together and they went to these communities, and during the summer, the education that they failed to give to those of color, they received it during the summer, and that was Freedom School.
Wow.
So now till this day, we still have Freedom School during the summer. It is 6 weeks where the children come, and it's a literacy program where we read. We have individuals from the community, from surrounding areas come to read to the children. They also have access to books that they read that's relatable.
Right.
The little boy, little girl, the family on the cover, it looks like them. It looks like what they represent. So again, Freedom School will be this summer. I'll be taking that on, along with continuing to travel with my trading team, building wealth, educating myself, and educating others around me.
Okay.
And I will continue as well in the military.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's different hats that I wear.
Right.
I am also building a brand called Show Up For You.
Okay.
You know, every morning I get on social media.
You do. show up for yourself. I can't remember, but
Show up for you. Like I feel
that's good.
Yeah, so it's
good.
a line, you know, I've coined for myself, you know,
That's
show
good.
up for you. You
Right.
know, and I feel as if you can show up for yourself, you can show up for others.
Right.
And my goal
good.
is to have an array of journals, because I journal and I write every day, to have journals, an affirmation, notebook, a calendar.
Yeah,
So getting
that's
that
good.
out this year.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's my goal.
You
That's
have
what's
a
next.
lot coming up. Yeah, no, that's great. That is great. I am so elated that you came, that
Thank you so much.
you are here. This was great. I think we need to do something again. Bring your husband on. We're gonna get him on this show. We're gonna get him on this show.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on this show. So thank you again,
You're welcome.
Rashonda, for being here. I appreciate the opportunity. Taking the time out to just be here with us on today. And so, guys, this wraps up our episode for today. Once again, we ask that you subscribe to the channel. We ask that you follow us on our social media platforms. All the information will be in the link, the description area of the podcast. And to find our boutique, we are at www.donnamcollection.shop. And remember, confidence is the best outfit. Own it, rock it, and inspire others to do the same. Until next time.